According to the 11th President of India, APJ Abdul Kalam, if a country is to be corruption-free and become a nation of beautiful minds, there are three key societal members who can make a difference. They are the father, the mother, and the teacher. Hello and welcome to The Eagle, the program that highlights issues concerning economic and financial crimes and how to curb them. It also brings to your doorstep the activities of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. The Eagle, reaching you from the network service of the NTA. My name is Martha Eche, asking you to stay with me for the next 30 minutes. Our discussion today is on curbing corruption, mothers in focus. It's The Eagle from the EFCC. Stay with us.
Imagine a society where everything works. Durable road networks, stable electricity supply, portable water, well-equipped and functional healthcare facilities, quality education for all, affordable housing schemes, social security benefits, job creation, and a lot more that makes life comfortable to live. That is an ideal society. We can only achieve these if we all play our part. Say no to corruption to enjoy these benefits. Kill corruption to save Nigeria. This message is from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC.
Just as plants cannot thrive in fire, so also can no one survive and enjoy life in a society wrecked by corruption. We must have it at the center of our minds that it is not only adults that commit economic and financial crimes. In fact, children are known to be very deeply involved as well, perhaps from learning from the adults around them. How then do we ensure that our children, who are the leaders of tomorrow, learn to shun economic and financial crimes and all forms of corruption today to ensure that we have a better tomorrow? You'd agree with me that mothers, by their nature, are the pivots in the growth and development of any child. From the time a child is born, says the first words, to when that child begins to learn how to do things around the home or the house, the mother is usually there to guide. Now, if parents take seriously their role of bringing up their children to be better citizens, then the fight against corruption will be partly won, and the future will be brighter. What is the role of parents, especially mothers, in the anti-corruption fight? Let's go to the chat room where Ngondu Ngweta is with our guest. Curbing corruption, mothers in focus is our topic today.
Thanks for joining us on this segment of the program. I'm here with Hadiza Patrick Otoro. Hadiza Patrick Otoro is a family and relationship counselor. Welcome on the program.
Thank you for having me.
So what's the place of the mother in the build-up of children today?
We cannot underestimate the place of a mother. I know it's in this modern time, it's almost unrealistic to say mothers are expected to play a huge role in a child's life because they juggle jobs, businesses, responsibilities, expectations from society. But the first words, the first ideas of a child, the first social interaction a child has is with his parents, and that's the mother, most of the times. There are fathers who are involved, but the mother is usually the one that is left with that responsibility, no matter the limited time the mother may have or may not have with that child. So we cannot, it's like saying, what is the presence of God in a child's life, I dare say.
Looking at the Nigerian family today, to what extent would you say that families contribute to the level of economic and financial crimes and corruption in the country?
There is a huge relationship because every child comes from a home. whether it's an extended family, a nucleus family, the streets, no matter where, an orphanage is a family. Friends are families. So the foundation of every society is the family. If you see a man build a house in the forest and he's living by himself, no matter how beautiful, he is not a society. He is nothing. He's not even a community. You can't even call him anything. You call him a recluse, you call him a madman and whatever. But the moment there's a wife and children, he becomes a community. If he says from now on all of us are going to be saying ba, 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 it becomes like that. So if the family says stealing is bad, that's the way the child will grow up to be. If being dishonest, returning back change, as small as you send a child on an errand and you say, every time the child brings back the money, you say, good, this is what I expect you to do to bring back change. Or the child doesn't bring back and then you say, it's just 1 naira, it's just one. You begin to say to that child, it is okay to take what is not yours, to not be accountable. You don't owe anybody anything, not to be accountable. You can keep what you think is yours, but it's not theirs. It's change. And like I used to say to my children, if you think 50 naira is nothing, go and steal it in the market. If they're going to beat you or call you a thief, in the house is the same thing. So the family in financial crime, if we can get the family system to have a belief system that says wrong is wrong, that stealing money is wrong, or that you can account for every money you have as a parent. You can say to your child, look, I'm about to pay your school fees. I'm waiting for my salary. My salary is this, and this is how I'm going to pay it. I can't afford for you to go to this school because this is what I'm being paid. But parents are not being open, not even in business. The children don't know anything about where money comes from. Some children don't know where their parents work. They don't know the position their parents are at or how much they earn, you know, and a lot of parents have business. They have hired people to watch over their business, but their children are not involved.
Yes, but some people think that children should not be involved in their finances. You know, children shouldn't know how much they earn and all that. So, what do you have to say to those kind of parents?
Because of the things we do. If you grew up in the 70s and the 80s, you knew how much your parents earned because they would shout it every time. Look, this 25 naira, that is my salary. I cannot, they would shout it. Everybody knew how much everybody earned. Not because they were not afraid of thieves coming or the children telling someone about it, but because everybody wanted everybody to know exactly where I stand. You may not tell them how much you earn, but the way you live your life will tell your child how much you earn. The way you caution them concerning things. For instance, your child goes to school and comes back and says, I saw someone with this bag, and you say, I can't afford it right now. Say to that child, I can pay for your school fees, I can do this, but there are things I cannot do right now or that we cannot afford. The child begins to know that there's a limit to which we can afford. But when a child squeaks for everything and then you answer quickly, and the child knows there's unlimited flow of cash. So the family owes that child from the very beginning to let the child know that wrong is wrong concerning money and right is right. You know, the word corruption, in majority of people just think corruption comes from the word collecting money. Yes, administratively, yes, that is to say to take funds that are not yours and use it for something else. But if you look at it in the word itself, the first time I came across corruption was religious one. It says, be careful, bad friends corrupt good morals. That was the first time I ever heard that word, corrupt good morals. So let's put it at that point. Then you have the adage, my English teacher used to say, one bad apple corrupts the whole lot. So I never really heard it as per money, I heard it as per morals. So if you taught your child that, and it starts with character. Character, it takes a person of character not to be corrupt or not to steal money, not to be financially fraudulent. It takes character. And that's what we're lacking. We're not putting character into our children and we're making it seem like you have to be in a very high office to get there. But we're all getting to somewhere. We're all getting to somewhere. And we're going to be left with financial responsibility. So it's left to you, as a society, as a family, to say, this is wrong. If you surround yourself with who steal biro, you eventually will steal money. if he brings back a barrel that is not his, and you say, oh, it's barrel. It's not barrel. Tomorrow it's the money itself that person is going to sign off. So yes, the family has a huge role.
Let's talk about living up to expectations. I mean, people have expectations, you know. So what would you say about mothers as regards living up to expectations as far as corruption is concerned?
The mother is expected to teach a child how to live right. We leave the religious teachings, the societal living, way to dress, practically everything is left to the mother. And at first, it may seem like we are expecting too much. But if you look at it, really, if you are the one who taught your child the alphabet or to pray, you should include that as part of it. You should include this small teaching of wrong or right into your child. It shouldn't be too much. It should almost seem like you are giving the child a creed of how to live life with people or with the society. You are the first contact. Let's not take it away from that. I know someone who told me years ago when I was counseling a person that the father was an armed robber, and this was like in the 80s. He sought after armed robbers, but virtually everybody in the house grew up to be a pastor. Why? Because the mother was in a very abusive relationship, and the husband had told her, if you leave, I will kill you. And she knew the kind of dealings she was doing. But what she did was she took these children under her wings and taught them a different way from her husband. They never really knew until when their father was eventually arrested at one point, you know, and went to jail, and then they began to realize that this was the kind of... But up until that point, their mother had taught them the right way. They saw the drinking, the smoking, everything, the going-ons, the rough people who came to their home. But their mother made sure that there was a different kind of teaching. It inspired me to think, yes, the society shouldn't be the influence to my child's upbringing. I have the power of influence. You know, there's a great scholar that said, if you give me a child till he's 7, I will make him whatever I want to be for the rest of his life.
And your last words on the role of mothers in fighting economic and financial crimes in Nigeria. Speak to the mothers.
My last word would be, every mother cannot excuse herself. No mother needs to see this as a campaign for the government or for some NGOs. It's a personal fight. If your child is not going to a good school now, do you want your child to build a better school down the road? You need to challenge your child every day to live better than you are doing or better than the others before him, in the sense that the child should be accountable. We should go back to a place where it's a thing of pride to think that your child came back with extra. This morning I was thinking about it. If you came back from the market, my mother knew that bread was 1 kobo. And she gave you 5 kobo, and you came back with 4.5 kobo, 4.5 kobo. You would trek back to that place and give that person that half kobo. You say, it's the child that gave me change. Where is the mother? Go back and give her that half kobo. And when you go back, that person, she may praise you. Sometimes she will even knock your head for you knowing that, because it was a whole community that did it. So mothers, we are the beginning of a child's journey into financial crime or not. What are you teaching your child? Who are you applauding? Who are you congratulating? Who are you celebrating in your life? Who are the people you hold as mentors and example of great people? Are they perpetrators of these financial crimes, or are they people of integrity that your child will look up to them and say, I would be that? Or you yourself, regardless of where you find yourself, good or bad, the child didn't ask you to get into that relation.
We've been talking today about curbing corruption, mothers in focus. We've spoken today with Hadiza Patrick Otoro. Hadiza Patrick Otoro is a relationship and family counselor. I hope you learned a thing or two. Thank you, Hadiza, for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me.
My name is Gondu Gueta.
This is The Eagle, an EFCC production reaching you from the network service of the NTA. And we've been looking at curbing corruption, mothers in focus. Many people in the Nigerian society complain that they try to put their children in the right path. But, you know, children of these days seem to have minds of their own. And one begins to wonder, How can mothers, in fact, parents and guardians generally, teach their children to shun corruption? The Eagle team went into the streets with that question and came back with some responses.
We can help them by teaching them how to, that they will not take what not belongs to them. And even though you see your child or your children that doing wrong thing, you have to correct the child, or have to tell the child that stop doing that, it's not good. Even though when a child is going out and bring something that does not belong to he or her, you have to tell her or she that where did you bring this thing? Take it back to the owner. That's how we are known that it can help our children to be training them, teaching them how to do a good thing, how to obey, how to be satisfied with what they have.
For the mother to help their children to shun corruption, first of all, the children need counseling. The mother have to talk to the children. They should avoid anything, particularly anything that they know that is not belong to them. Even if someone promised them $1 million or $1, they should say no. They should stick to what is right. What is right is absolutely right. They should not go on earthly material in order to achieve great by evil ways.
As mothers, we start from teaching them the moral characters at home, telling them what is wrong and what is right. Then, by showing them good example, we the parents should not be part of the corruption activities. So by so doing, you talk to them, teach them, and I think with that there will be a change in the community, the society.
Like they say, charity begins at home. So training of children begins at home. It starts from we the parents. So we learn how to teach our children about our culture and also let them know, like for example now, let me assume that you want to buy something and you know this corruption of a thing that we are talking about now is parents, the children, because as they are growing they are learning from the parents, and within the environment they are staying also they learn from the environment. So we teach our children that corruption is very bad by not, because it's by practicing it they are looking at us, they are seeing it, so they are assimilating whatever they see within the environment.
Some mothers, based on the matter in the ground, if you have corruption, we get some good mothers when we say then they teach their children not to get longer throats for other people's property. We get some children we say then go out to school, maybe the one they go school maybe as he reach school he can't go see another of his mates property, pick am, come close from school, come house. Better mama go see the thing for the pikin and go ask her say, my pikin, who give you this thing? The pikin go fear because you know say mama must ask am or even beat am. They go say, okay, mommy, oh yeah. That minute the mama go say, oh yeah, go and return it, or let's go and return it. You don't end that corruption.
Mothers can also help in shunning corruption in our country, because most of the times it depends on how they train us from home or the children. A child goes out of the house and because the mother has not taught him what to do or has not tell him what he's supposed to do, he goes out with that lack of morals and training, so it affects them so much outside, especially lack of manners of approach. A child doesn't know how to approach people outside because his parents at home or his mother didn't teach him. So most of the times our parents or our mothers are also contributing in this corruption. So I think mothers should help us in the house, take care of their kids, teach them morals.
Corruption is dishonesty and illegal behavior by people in positions of trust. A public office is a public trust. Do not abuse positions of trust for private gains. Stay away from corruption. Nigeria is a great nation, and it is our responsibility to make the country greater. If you notice any act of corruption, please report to the EFCC via info@efccnigeria.org or call 09 904 4751 or 09 904 4752. You can also call 09 904 4753. This message is from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC.
Voices of people on the streets of Nigeria there. I know you have your own view. Whatever it is, it's worthy to note that a family is directly responsible to the outcome of the children we bring into the world. The future of any nation lies with the way and manner the children are raised. You're listening to The Eagle, and we have on the table today, Curbing Corruption, Mothers in Focus. Now, mothers have the ability to correct and nurture their children